It is Whiskey Wednesday, and it's Kelly from Springfield Distillery, and I've got Mason with me today. I'm super excited. He's going to be helping me kind of upcharge the cocktails. Hey, Bobby. And just, I'm going to make a tasting room version, and then Mason will probably help me kick it up because you guys know he has a much heavier pour than I do. So, we're going to start with something super easy, really, really simple. We brought back the Irish cream. It's officially back on the menu. I missed it. I didn't realize how much I missed it until I was making some cocktails, and I thought, shoot, this would be really good with the Irish cream. So I'm really glad that we brought this one back. We're going to do two super easy cocktails with this. I'm going to let Mason do one, and I'm going to do one, another version of it. And this one we're going to do like a, sorry, Mace. You can do the Coke one. How's that? We're going to start these with our little tasting jars. Mason told me he was on an empty stomach today, that he wasn't going to be able to drink so much. So we're going to do them in the tasting sizes, which you guys know we will kick this up in a mason jar, than one of the larger sizes with that. So we're going to start this with the little ones. These are 8-ounce glasses. We're going to start with 1 ounce pours of the Irish cream. And Mason is going to make a grown-up vanilla Coke. He's going to add his Coke and just a little cherry if you want to for that, or you just like them plain with no garnish, so you'll probably leave it just like that.
No, cherries are different.
Cherries are different? Okay. And I'm going to put the cherry 7-Up in there because I thought that this would be kind of like a Dirty Shirley, a kind of grown-up Shirley Temple with this one. And I thought Mason said we had to stick with some red and some pink this week, so we tried to theme most of our cocktails around red, pink, or something affiliated with that. So you've got yours.
Also put in a little bit of the juice.
Oh, you did? Oh, well, let me cheat and do that too. Make it just an extra cherry. Okay. All right, cheers. Oh, that's pretty good. You want to swap?
I need a little more. That's probably too much.
You're going to have a berry cherry Roy Rogers.
I don't know about vanilla Coke. Vanilla cherry Coke, maybe.
You want to swap?
Oh, yeah, that's better.
Well, I think I might like yours better than mine.
It was a surprise.
I think if I was going to do this Dirty Shirley, I might even put a little splash of lemonade in there. I think that lemon, yours is better?
No, I would put more Irish cream in, though.
More Irish cream.
Not just so much for the booze, but for the flavor, I mean.
Yeah, I think so. That's just a 1 ounce pour. You'd probably go a little bit heavier on that. So that one is just the Irish cream when we did it with the Coke. I think the Coke is really, really good with that. It makes it like a vanilla Coke. If you really wanted to kind of up that vanilla or the cherry in it, you could use a cherry Coke. You could use the cherry vanilla Coke. You could use vanilla Coke. And that's the kind of fun part about kind of playing with the different sodas and that with the whiskeys. But I really like that Irish cream with that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't say there's a set amount of the juice to put in. It's kind of just up to you on that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say like an ounce of it or anything. I would say
A little extra grenadine if you like a little extra cherries. Yeah. Okay, that's the first one. Got Mason liked that one a lot. So the next one, I'm going to do this without ice just because I think you'll be able to see this a little bit better. This one was one that we did last year at one of our whiskey tastings that we did at the mixology class at Berry Hill, and it was just really, really popular. Travis Foy, this one's for you. This is one of his favorites. It's a really easy cocktail. I'm going to do this with the mint whiskey. So I'm going to take the mint. That's a big pour. I'm going to do a 1 ounce pour of that. There's a little bit of extra.
I will say with the mint, a little goes a long way in terms
of
a
little extra
flavor. No, I mean, yeah, okay.
So you're going to start with the mint with this one. And then what I'm going to do is add some fresh strawberries to it. I think the fresh strawberries in this make it super nice. It's got that mint and the strawberry. And then I'm going to add the Sprite ginger to it. I think it's going to keep it just a little bit of that winter kind of twist to it with the ginger in it. It's also because that's what we had. I didn't have any regular Sprite with me, so we're going to try this with the ginger. And I'm going to do that with the mint. Just the strawberries floating in it and just the Sprite ginger. And that's going to make it just really, really simple. which I really like this with the mint and the Sprite. God, that is really good. Make sure you're going to have to try this one. But when I want to kick it up, if you want it just a little bit sweeter on this one, what I like about doing this is to take these Master of Mixes purees. You can make this with strawberry jam. You guys have seen me do this where I take the jar of jam, add 50% volume of boiling water to it, break it down, and that makes a really good just homemade puree with that. These are really inexpensive. These I think are like $2.99 at Food Lion. These add a really great flavor. These would be great even for your kids for like to make a strawberry lemonade or just add a little bit of Sprite to it. They think they're getting a grown-up mocktail. But with this one, I'm going to put just a little bit of strawberry in this just to make it a little bit sweeter in this. It's going to bring out that nice pink color that Mason likes with the floating strawberries. We actually wanted to put a piece of mint in this and we went everywhere and no mint. So it's just that time of year where it's not great. I know you guys in Northern Virginia and that get a little bit better supplies as far as Wegmans and Harris Teeters and that and the fresh herbs in that. We didn't. So instead, I'm going to put a little lime in there just to make it kind of pretty. We've got the strawberries floating. Let me see what you think this one. I had a little bit.
This is a little bit too much
with the green. Too much garnish for Mace. A little too much garnish.
Too much. This is without ice too.
It's without it. You want me to put a little ice in it?
That's good.
So this one I did super easy mint whiskey. The other thing is if you wanted to make this a little bit sweeter, this is one that you could have used the Irish cream in. The Irish cream to make a strawberries and cream would be really, really good with this one. If you wanted a little bit more kick, you could have used the honey whiskey with this. What other one would you say with the strawberries? I think maybe just...
Irish cream and mint are about the only ones I think I would do.
I do orange in this because I think the orange is my favorite. So with the strawberries, I think it would be really, really good.
I still think you could probably do the corn whiskey with something though.
Yep. What about the cantaloupe in this one? That'd be like a fruit salad. Well, I'd like the cantaloupe.
Maybe. You do the rum.
Really good. So just a real quick recap on this one. This was the mint whiskey. God, that mint whiskey with the Sprite ginger. If you guys stopped with the mint and the Sprite ginger on this, that would be really good. Garnish it with a little bit of strawberries or fresh cherries, or you can even put lemon in this, which would make it almost like a mint sweet ginger lemonade. But then with the strawberries or that little bit of strawberry puree in there, I just think makes it really good. Yep.
That's the best though, the Coke.
Mason likes the Coke one the best, so I kind of like the strawberry one. So
Agree to disagree.
So one of the new things that we're going to be doing in the tasting room, I have found it to be kind of challenging to get mixers, and I really like to use some different mixers that I find. Two of the ones that I want to tell you about were the Manhattan. If you guys remember, I used this Master of Mixes Manhattan mix, and I got this one today, so I definitely want to try this. This is the Master of Mixes Old Fashioned. So we have decided that for each week that we are doing Whiskey Wednesday, I am going to make sure that we have mixers in here. So if you guys really like the cocktail, you guys can buy the whiskey and the mixers. All you have to probably get is a carbonation of Sprite or ginger ale, which of course anybody can get. But we will start selling these Master of Mixers that Master of Mixes or different mixers, purees and that we aren't able to find in our local Food Line and that just because there's not enough demand for it. I'm going to order them and have them here. So along with some of the whiskey sours and the Bloody Marys and that, we're going to add some of these really fun mixers. So the Old Fashioned is probably going to be the one I just really can't wait for. Mason has decided he really likes the Cherry Coke one. So so those are going to do, and because we're talking about that, I'm going to do this Old Fashioned one just because I want to make sure we really like it before we do that. If you guys haven't gotten one of these, we are giving these away pretty much with any 2-bottle purchase. But if you don't and you just have these, I will tell you guys, these little rocks glasses have become probably one of my favorites with this. Mason and I really like these at home with one of those formed cubes, you know, those the spheres or the blocks. I kind of thought
take a while. They take a long time, but I think it's worth it.
Yeah, if you put them in overnight, they're great for the next day. But what I really like about those is the fact that it doesn't melt as fast. So you put that in, gets everything nice and cold. You've got that density of it, but it doesn't melt it. So I thought they were kind of a gimmick in the beginning. And I got to tell you, we really like them at home. Mason even puts a couple of those in with his tall, what is that called?
Yeti.
A Yeti. He puts the tall ones in there and they just don't water down. So with this one,
I'll put probably 2 or 3 maybe, and then just stack in there.
we got chopped ice here. That's what we're going to get, and we're going to drink this fast enough that it's not going to melt, which is also called proofing when you add a little bit of water to that. I'm going to do this with, do you think I should do it with the bourbon or the 1842? I was going to do, apparently I put too much ice in, so he's dumping half of my ice because I like a really cold drink. He doesn't like a lot of ice. So this is Mason telling me kind of what to do here.
That's what happens.
Do you want to try I think the 1842. What do you think?
For the Manhattan?
For the old fashioned. Because the Manhattan we typically do with the straight bourbon. What do you think? Go with bourbon?
I'll do that, but I would probably also make a bourbon one.
With the bourbon one? Okay, well, you want to... So I'm going to put, this is only an ounce in here, but I'm going to do a full shot. Ounce and a half. Full shot in here. You guys can see how great that looks in that glass. It's about halfway with the ice. Of course, Mason dumped my ice. And I'm going to do this with the old-fashioned mix, just because I think this is going to be super good. We will have this available this weekend. I'm going to put about equal parts of that with this old-fashioned mix in it. I'm going to put a nice, good squeeze of orange. You guys know how much I love the orange with our whiskey. So I'm going to put one little slice of orange in there squished. You guys, really, really easy. You could put a little bit of bitters in here, but this old-fashioned mix has it. And then Mason wants me to put this is the one garnish Mason never really
it doesn't get in the way. It doesn't leave.
It's not in your teeth, like you say. The pulp. No. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at how good that looks.
Very good color though.
Really good color. It's got a little bit of kind of pinkish, reddish kind of things. I think it's kind of Valentine-y stain, don't you think? Oh my. That's a grown-up drink.
That's good.
Really good. I love that 1842. This would also be so good with the bourbon. With that bourbon, you're going to get a little bit more of that, of the char taste, kind of that aged taste with this. This super smooth. It's got a nice whiskey taste with the 1842. But what I really like about our 1842 and that is that the wine notes from Hunting Creek that are in this, and then that sweetness with the old fashioned, and then the orange and the cherry. I just think this is a really good.
You don't even taste. I mean, for that, you don't really even taste the alcohol in it.
This would be dangerous because I could do 2 of these and I'd probably not be in.
You'd probably have to go a little back on that.
You think I put too much in? Well, if you'd left more ice in there, I think I probably would have used less mixer because I would have put the whole shot. See, he defeats the purpose by putting less ice because then I put in more cut. So if we left all the ice in here, I'd have had the full shot and then it would be no carbonation, Kat. This one is this is the grown-up drink. There's no
concrete proof.
No. Yeah. I think this is great. So definitely go with the old fashioned. You guys, just so you know, I really like this Master of Mixes old fashioned. We will be selling this in the tasting room. I think this is going to be really great. Grab it with a bottle. This would be great with the orange whiskey. This would be great with the honey whiskey, the maple, the 1842, and the bourbon. I think would all be really good with this. Don't you think?
I wouldn't do it with anything other than the 100. I mean, the 1842 or the bourbon. The old fashioned mix. I mean, that's what you're tasting.
You like it the 100.
That's what. Well, yeah. I mean, personally,
Okay.
I don't even taste the 100 proof in there. I feel
Yeah.
like if you had the orange or any 60 proof in there, you wouldn't.
Well, I taste a little bit of it, and I can tell you I'm going to feel a little bit of that. I can tell you that one for sure.
Just because you don't taste it doesn't mean it's not in.
Chrissy Donahue says, "Hi, Mason."
I'm Chrissy.
Okay, so that's a good one. This one I did this weekend. Just real quick on the recap with that, I put a full shot of whiskey in this little 8-ounce glass. It had a bunch of ice in it. This would be great with the cubes or the spheres. Really good with this. Add the old-fashioned mix. There's all kinds of old-fashioned mixes out. really like master mixes. It's really simple. I think that they blend really well with our whiskeys. Good squeeze of orange, and then the cherry on top. I think it's really, really good. So that's the old fashioned. This one I made for Travis and Shay, two of my little lovebirds. They were here. It's always a challenge. I love when they come because they really like for me to go off the tasting menu, and they're actually pretty adventurous. So Shay, if you're watching, this one's for you. The one that I really had to sell on the both of them, our whiskey, is the brown sugar cinnamon. They were not convinced that that was really their go-to with this. And so every time they come in, Shay, this one's for you. I was just doing a shout out for you. I'm always challenged for Shay and Travis to make something with the brown sugar cinnamon because I want them to be convinced that it's one of the favorites. It's actually perfect this time of year. Also great in the summer with like your peaches and pineapples and that to kind of keep that spiced fruit flavor. But this one, Shay, I made this one for you and Travis, and you guys said this was, you thought, one of your favorite cocktails that I did. So Mason's gonna get me some ice in this. We're gonna play it by ear on whether or not we're open on Friday. It's really gonna depend on the roads. But I promise you we will post it on Facebook and let you guys know if for some reason, if we have to close because of that. We usually just try to make sure that we do it, you know, due to the weather and that. So, in this little, this is one of the tasting jars. You can also do this with the mason jars. So for all of those that have taken home different mason jars and the tasting jars, here's a little trick, and I've done this before, but I want you guys to see this because this to me is just a great way to repurpose these. I'm gonna take I'm gonna take 1 ounce of the brown sugar cinnamon in our tasting jar. This has got ice in it. Mason was kind of gracious with the ice in this one, maybe not so much. I've got 1 ounce of the brown sugar cinnamon in that. Here's another thing we're gonna be selling at the tasting room. I can't wait. These, this is a different flavor than we're used to. This one is the black cherry puree. If you guys haven't tried these, they come in all different flavors. We've tried the peach, the strawberry, the blackberry, the blueberry. This black cherry is really good in this cocktail. So I'm gonna stick probably about a half an ounce to an ounce, depending on how sweet you like that. And this is my new trick that I love with the whiskey and the puree. You guys see how that puree gets kind of stuck at the bottom, and then you're trying to stir it, and then the carbonation overflows and that. So if you take it when it's got the ice, the whiskey, and the puree, or maple syrup or honey or whatever you're using is that, and you mix this up, then you get that nice blend with that. So when you add the carbonation, it's already nicely blended. You don't have to do a big stirring kind of volcano
do not do it if the carbonation is in there.
You don't want to do this when the carbonation's in there. It will. We've had a couple of lids explode here, so I would highly recommend that. And we did this one with, Mace, can you grab me a ginger ale? I think I left it in one of those little, oh darn it, it's underneath the crackers over there. I totally bombed that, and oh, never mind, I got one here. I got one. I'm going to add ginger ale to this one. I think the ginger ale is probably the best with this one. This is what we did over the weekend. Now this garnish, I'm kind of torn on this one. I'm not sure. I think that with the brown sugar cinnamon and the cherry, I think the lemon would be really good. Like if you were making like a cherry pie, you would add a little bit of lemon juice to it. But I think the orange also made it really pretty. If you guys remember, I don't want to bring this up, but the Chiefs lost, and this was a Chiefs color kind of one I was going with. But the orange, it's really good too, like a little bit of orange zest in that. But you guys can see how pretty this is. This is the black cherry with the brown sugar cinnamon and a little bit of ginger ale. Mace, you got to try this one and see what you think. Mace is very busy. Something big is happening with the Chicago Bears, so he can't get off his Twitter account right now. You know how kids are. They're addicted to their phones. Mason is a large kid that's still addicted to his phone. What do you think?
It tastes like is that the Welshers with those fruit snacks?
Oh yeah.
That's exactly what this tastes
Yeah,
like.
it does a little bit. I didn't think about that. Shay, this one's for you. I hope you like this one. This one's going to be on the menu this weekend.
Blue pack.
Oh, the fruit gels or whatever they are.
I'm gonna figure. No, not Gushers.
Not Gushers, but the little blue pack that I used to put in your lunches.
No, that's exactly what
That's what it does taste like. It does. It's so good. And that brown sugar cinnamon you can do with blueberry, with blackberry, with peach. any of these, you could totally change this with any puree. This would be really good. We just really like the Welch's. Yes.
Yeah, Welch's.
Diana, there you go. Mason just found
That's
it. The
exactly
Welch's.
what that
It does.
tastes
It tastes like you stuck a handful of those in your mouth, and that's what this tastes like.
You even kind of get the,
That sweetness afterwards.
Well, that residue that kind of sits on you. I mean, that's what's.
This was good. Shay, this one's for you. I nailed this one, I've got to say, for you and Travis. This is for the little lovebirds. We might have to call it that this weekend. But this is that cherry. It's a cherry with the brown sugar cinnamon. Again, I said you can mix this with different ones. I think that all of the different juices or purees would be super good with this one. So, God, I got a lot to do. I got so many ideas today. I couldn't help myself. This one is going to be. We did. Well, this is 1, 2, 3, really. Okay, so we're going to actually do 5 cocktails today. It's actually going to turn into 6. But this one is going to be with, this is a Mule. And this one, you guys, I want to do this in a couple different versions. I'll talk it through. I'm going to make one. Sylvia, it is a little sweet, but you can cut that back and you can just put less puree in there.
More alcohol.
Or more alcohol. Sylvia, that's right up your alley. Instead of just the ounce of the brown sugar cinnamon, you and Mace would probably put 2 ounces in there, easy. About half the brown sugar cinnamon, a splash of puree, and then just a hint of ginger ale. You'd be having ginger ale with your whiskey, not whiskey with your ginger ale. At 90, oh, Sylvia, the 90 would be really good with that too. That would cut some of that sweetness too. So this is going to be our Mule. And I was trying, I got to do the ice on this one because I like it really cold. So this one is going to be done. Oh, he's trying to hold the ice.
Too much.
Is that too much?
Too sad.
So I would do this with just the maple whiskey and ginger beer. I think that one would be super good. It would be really easy if you guys wanted to do a maple mule. I would just do the maple whiskey and Gosling's ginger beer. That would make it. This is just like a match made in heaven. This is great with the blackberry whiskey. This Gosling's ginger beer, they sell it at Walmart here. They sell it in Giant up in Northern Virginia. Highly recommend it. It's just my choice of ginger beer. I just think it pairs really, really well with our whiskeys. So I would do this with the maple and the ginger beer. However, we're going to kick this one up a little bit. And I'm going to do this with the straight bourbon because I think this one is really good. I'm going to do 1 ounce of the straight bourbon. Again, Mason would probably put a full shot, 1.5 ounces in here. That would be really good. And then what I'm going to do is put some real maple syrup in it. You guys know I like using these little 2 for $1 at the dollar store or getting these at Walmart and that. I think that this is super good. What's that?
I'll just measure it out in like a...
So Mason wants me...
tablespoon thing.
God, he's really telling me what to do here on this one. So this is going to be measured out. I'm going to go with... I think a 1/2 ounce, or do you think I should go, see now, I think that's about a 1/2, maybe a 1/4 ounce in there, a little bit of maple syrup. So I would go a little bit heavier in there. Yeah, now it is. I think it might be, we need to probably redo that one. And then I'm going to top this one with ginger beer. So this is going to be a maple mule. It's going to be done with either the maple whiskey, or if you want it a little bit, yeah, give me just a little splash of that. I think probably the sugar has just kind of blocked my top. There you go. Oh, that's a good amount.
Probably a 1/2 ounce total.
Yeah, these are communion cups, 1/2 ounce pours. So we use those a lot in here. Okay. And this would be our maple mule. And then of course I would put a lime on top of that just to keep it mule-ish. Okay. What I like about using this doing this with either the 1842 or the straight bourbon is that you get that whiskey taste to it. If you want to taste more of the ginger beer, you want a little bit of less of that whiskey taste, I would definitely do this with the maple whiskey. But I really like that bit of strength from the 100 proof. And of course, Mason and I really
if you do the
take
maple
into
whiskey, don't put in maple syrup.
Don't put in maple syrup. He's absolutely right. You cut the maple syrup out. Now, if you guys wanted to, and I'm going to kick this up. This might make it a little sweet, Mace, but we're going to do this just to give a little bit of Sprite. You want to try it? We sell this.
Care for lime.
Oh, I didn't squeeze it. I just put it in there as a garnish. It's just to make it pretty so it doesn't look bland. We just put a little garnish in there. I would do this with this Sweet Heat maple syrup. You guys, this has habanero peppers in this. It's infused. We sell this. We get this from Vermont. This is actually, the maple syrup is what we use. Their white maple syrup, it is Butternut Mountain Farms. We get this from Vermont. We use this in our maple whiskey, but this is the habanero one. So this is going to give this just a little bit of bite to this. I'm just going to put a tiny splash in this for you, Mace, because Mason likes some spice with this. So this would be one I think that you'd really like with, instead of the maple syrup, to use that one. What do you think? With the straight bourbon and the habanero one? I'm going to taste it first.
Maple's just, well, because there's already maple in there. Yeah, I mean, that's probably a lot of maple. I wouldn't put the other maple in.
No, I would just use that instead, but I just wanted, instead of making another cocktail, because you've got to finish these up that on your empty stomach. What do you like, Nova, with that little bit of heat in the background?
That's good heat on it. I would not put in the other maple, though.
No, I would just use this. So if you wanted to do a spicy mule, spicy maple mule, get one of these habanero infused honey or maple syrup. We sell this one here. This is really good, and it actually does that. The other one that you could do with this is it's a Virginia Finest product. We're going to be using this in our whiskey coming up, just so you know. You guys will get a little notice with this. They sell this in Food Lion. This is all across Virginia. You're supporting a Virginia Finest company when you guys buy this AR's Hot Southern Honey. We're doing a collaboration with them, which I'm super excited. We'll be announcing soon. This is a hot one. You could put a little swirl of this. I would definitely do the trick of the honey with the whiskey in the glass before you add the carbonation to this, because this one I will tell you is a little thick. So you want to kind of mix that up. But that hot habanero, hot honey would be so good in a mule for that one. So what do you think? Which ones have been your favorite so far? Still the cherry Coke. He's had two.
Cherry Coke.
I think this mule is really good, and I do like the cherry one. Okay, we're gonna have to
Mule's
finish this
very
up.
good. If you like your mule, you like that. The old fashioned, probably would have that second.
Very be
the
mine.
Welch's, good.
Welch's. That's what he's gonna call the cherry one.
Welch's is very good. And then this one was probably my least favorite so far.
The berry be mine. Okay.
But that's because
You don't taste the whiskey too, and there's a
well,
lot going
there's a lot
on
of
in there
work.
for you.
I don't know if they can see it, but there's a lot on the top you got to get through.
So Mason, as you guys know, not a big garnish person, so that's not his.
I don't chew my drinks.
So we have moved on to dessert, and you guys, I cannot begin to tell you how I am excited to tell you this, but if you guys remember, any of you guys, and if you remember this from the beginning, do a shout out and just kind of let us know that you remember this one. I used to make this really good. It was like an espresso shot. And Master of Mixes, again, you guys know how much I love this Master of Mixes. They had an espresso mixer, and I loved it so much, and I used it in here all the time. I loved mixing it with the brown sugar cinnamon, with the corn whiskey. We liked it with the Irish cream. I mean, I used it all the time to make, you know, just little shots in that. Well, guess what I found out? I got in touch with Master of Mixes. I was asking him, like, how can I find this espresso mixer? I really want to add this to that. They told me that this, if you guys see this, this Finest Call, if you guys see this anywhere, it's actually a product of Master of Mixes. So what they do is it's all kind of on the production line. This is just like a larger version of this. What's that?
The label's all around that.
Yeah, the label's on. Can you see that? The Finest Call. If you guys see this, we're going to be selling this. I am so excited for this one. So I'm going to make this coffee one as two different versions. The first one is going to be as a shot, and this is how I make this shot. And if you guys want to do this for Valentine's Day, you guys can come by. We'll get you the whiskey for this, and we'll be selling this Finest Call espresso mix, okay? So what I would do is take my little 8-ounce one. You guys, this is going to make a great shot with this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 1 ounce of the, which whiskey should we do? You guys, I'm going to do this with the corn whiskey because I think the corn whiskey is the best with the coffee. So I'm going to take out my the OG of the corn whiskey, and I'm going to put in my little 8-ounce jar. I'm going to take 1 ounce of the corn whiskey. Okay? And then I'm going to take 1 ounce of this espresso mixer. If you guys don't have espresso mixer, on your Keurig machine, do like the smallest thing with one of your shots. Do like the 4 ounce, and you've basically got a really strong coffee with that. That would work really, really well. Use use instant coffee, you guys could do that if you wanted to make that. Sylvia, this one's for you, girl. And I'm going to put 1 ounce of the espresso mix in that. And just because Mason's with me, no, I'm going to do this one with the half and half because I want it less sweet. So then I'm going to take 1 ounce of the half and half, just because I don't want this one sweet. If you guys wanted to make this a little bit sweeter, put in your favorite coffee creamer with this one. I'm going to put the lid on this one. You guys, I'm going to shake this up. This is the corn whiskey, the espresso mixer, and the half and half. And then Mason and I are going to have little shots with this. If you guys wanted to, you could, obviously this is going to be, keep this stuff in the fridge. Ooh, whipped cream would be great. Little sprinkles with the chocolate. Oh shoot, I gave you a lot more. I didn't pour this very well. So if you guys were to see this, I would be a little bit more equal. I'm going to give him the lesser one with this one. But you guys can see this is a little espresso shot. Cheers.
Take a shot.
Sylvia, you're going to dig this one. It's not sweet. It's got that nice bite of the corn whiskey. What do you think of that one? You'd like it a little bit sweeter. So Mason wouldn't go for the half and half. He would add the French vanilla creamer to it, which is going to sweeten that right up to it.
You would do...
God, this is good.
I would do the French vanilla with the 90 probably to cut back on that. But if you were doing brown sugar, cinnamon, or maple...
Irish cream even would be sweet.
Irish cream, maple, brown sugar, cinnamon, I would probably do half and half.
Okay.
But for 90 or 100 proof, I would do the French vanilla.
The French vanilla.
Just to introduce another flavor so you're not getting
So,
heavy
that's not how you take a shot. Okay, Victoria, here we go. Cheers.
That's not how you do it.
I guess that's not how you do it either, apparently. So, this last one, just because I'm going to do this small because I would definitely do this big. Patty, this one might be for you. I'm going to do this with the smaller one because this is going to be more Mason speed. And for you guys that pick the iced coffee, this one's going to be for you. So I'm going to take a good shot. I'm going to do 1.5 ounces in this with this one, but just because I know Mason's going to really want to taste the whiskey on that. I would add your ice to it. And then I was telling you guys about the stoked coffee. This is really, really good coffee. They sell this at Walmart and sometimes, but at Food Lion locally. This is an unsweet one. They do have one that's a little sweet, and then they have like a strong one. But you guys, this is a great iced coffee. It's
better to do the unsweet, and then you add in your half and half.
I agree.
Or your creamer, but not. Don't do the sweet and the creamer.
Yeah, the sweet and the creamer is going to put it over the edge. But I would do this one. This is really good as your coffee with this one. Again, this one's going to be a little bit sweet. This is going to have, because I'm going to add, with the Irish cream, I'm going to add the French vanilla. And you guys know how much we like playing with these. I like mixing these up with different ones. There's caramel, there's caramel macchiato. I mean, you can, the fun part about this iced coffee one, oh, look at how pretty that is with the little floating on top. What do you think about that? Straw. Okay. Do you want me to mix it? You're going to mix a little, Mason likes it mixed. So this is going to be our iced coffee. This one's really fun. I mean, play around with those, with the different whiskeys that we have. Add, you can use your Keurig and just let that sit and cool down a little bit, and then put it over ice right before you serve it. Add the different creamers. This one has the French vanilla. Brown sugar cinnamon would be really good with this one too, I think.
That's good.
This can be sweet.
That's good. It's not too sweet though, because you didn't put that much creamer in.
You like a little bit more creamer?
I like it how it is. Some people, if you like sweet, I'd probably do a little more creamer in. But that, I mean, as it is, it's great.
So this one, I did a full shot in this one. I think this one would be really good. The iced coffee. Make your own iced coffee. Use it with instant coffee. You could really play with this one.
I'd probably put in the 90 or the 100 proof in that.
Yeah, because you don't taste the whiskey. Mason really likes to taste the whiskey.
I mean, it does taste. You do get the Irish cream in it.
That one's
but you're
good.
not. There's no bite. There's no.
The mint would be really good with that.
Mint would be very good in that.
Anyway, all right, we're gonna do a recap because I know I've got you guys on here for a long time, so we're gonna kind of go through this. The first one is the grown-up Roy Rogers or vanilla Coke. Mason has had 2 of these. He obviously really liked it. That is done with the Irish cream whiskey, just Coke, and and the cherries on top. And that's super easy. It's a really, really great cocktail. It's a nice grown-up vanilla Coke. The second one I did was the I did the old fashioned next. This one was really good. It was done with the Mason said this was my second one. I take that back. I did the Berries Be Mine. I did that with the mint whiskey. I think the mint is really good with this. I did it with the strawberry puree. If you want to add that, some fresh strawberries, limes. You could float any kind of fruit in here and make it really pretty. And then add, I think that Sprite ginger was really good with this. You could do regular ginger ale, or Sprite would be really good. But I think that Sprite ginger actually added a little twist to this. I did a lime on this. I probably just put a piece of mint on the top of this for ourselves. Mason wasn't a huge fan of that one, but I really liked it. This next one that I did was our old fashioned. This was really good. I did this one with the 1842 whiskey, the old fashioned mix that we're going to be selling here, and an orange and a cherry to that, and just garnish that with a little bit of orange and the cherry on top of this one. The next one I did was the black cherry one. This one was really good. It was done with the brown sugar cinnamon whiskey. I added the black cherry puree. You can substitute that for any puree that you'd like with that would go with that. A peach. What else? A peach.
I would not touch that because that touched.
He likes it with the black cherry. So any of the
that tastes exactly like
with the Welch's thing. And then we put this, top this with ginger ale. This one was really good. I did the maple mule. Again, you can do variations with that. Just the maple whiskey with the ginger beer. You can do this with the 1842 or the straight bourbon. Add your maple syrup to it and then top it with the ginger beer. Or you can do, which I would highly recommend if you like a little bit of kick, this habanero infused maple syrup. I think it's fabulous for that. Really good mule, just as a fun, easy way to do that. And then the last two were the coffees. The first coffee that we did, they're gone, was done with the espresso mixer that we're going to start selling here. It's the Finest Call espresso mixer. We did it with the corn whiskey, but you could substitute that with any of the other whiskeys that you'd like. I did it with half and half, but you could add a cream or a sweet cream or that would make it a little sweeter for you. And then we did the iced coffee for that, and we'll have this on the menu this weekend too.
This tasted like a chocolate milk almost.
Yeah, it is like a chocolate milk almost. And that one was done with the Stoke coffee, the iced coffee that you can get at the grocery store, and then just play with whatever creamer that you like. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this. Thanks so much for watching. If you guys are around anywhere in Virginia and you guys are going to be snowed in, hope you're well prepared for that with some scratch. If you make a cocktail, post it. We would love to see what you're doing with it. And we will, if we're going to be closed Friday, we'll post. And if not, we'll see you guys on Saturday. Anyway, take care. Thanks for watching.